Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Chase. Welcome to another episode of The Daily Creative. This is a show where I answer the questions that you have about your struggles or challenges around becoming an aspirational or professional creative. Maybe you're already in the paint and you got troubles, or you're trying to figure out how to get there. I'm your guy to help. You can call me. Before we, I'll tell you where to call when at the end of the show, but I need to get right into the mix. Finn, you got some questions for me this week? Today? It's Daily Creative, not Weekly Creative. What's happening? Hi, how are you?
My name's Phileas Flash. That's P-H-I-L-E-A-S, and then Flash, as it sounds.
That's
and I make balloons.
Name.
Now, my question for you is this. I've achieved a lot of success in my industry. My art form is making big-scale balloon sculptures. And I really want to get those more out into the mainstream. I want more people all over the world to appreciate the art that I do. So my question is, how do I go from my own industry success to achieving more of a mainstream audience for my balloon artwork?
Beautiful.
My Facebook
you can stop there. Beautiful, beautiful question. First of all, balloon art, this is incredible. Actually, do you mind if we pull it up? I heard it was amazing before I heard there was a question about balloon art. I'm going to pull it up here. What's the website, Finn? Flashballoons.com. Flashballoons.com. All right. I saw a preview on someone else's laptop of this question. This is incredible. I'm clicking on the gallery here. Are you gonna be able to see that right there? Is that too close? So check this. This is just amazing. This is one of the things I love about this show, is that like all types, like photographers, designers, entrepreneurs, flash ballooners. Oh my God, the president. This is insane. Okay. So what was his question? His question was, how do I break out of my industry, my balloon industry? So presumably what you want to be first and foremost is the king of your industry. You want to be like the balloon guy. Obviously you've got some insane talent around twisting balloons. So hopefully you're very, very well known in your niche. I think that's an important thing before trying to be huge in an area outside of your area of expertise. So be like the guy in the balloon space. And in order to do that, I think, see my video I made before about the other 50%. How do you promote your work? A lot of people think that just making your work is the thing. And the reality is the people who you follow on the internet, they spend half of their time in some way, shape, or form promoting their work, whether it's participating in YouTube communities or physically getting together at the balloon trade show. I don't know what it is, but first and foremost, I want you to be the most known badass balloon artist. Clearly, you have insane talent. I've never seen anything. That's amazing. I've never seen anything like that. Is that enough? Do we have enough screen time, do you think, on his balloons? Crazy. For the folks at home, insane balloon sculptures. Like I'm looking at Starry, Starry Night here. I'm looking at, okay, that's distracting. Look at me. Once you feel like you are legendary, and maybe you're already there, I don't know, I'm not deep in the balloon community. That sounded, Vin laughed, but it's true. You want to be the king. I believe that the way you get outside of that, and this also will help you get in the top 1 or 10% or whatever of your industry, is what are you doing to show the process? What are you doing to show your craft, your personality behind the work? And so I could see, obviously Instagram would be huge because it's visual. Your work is very visual. Things like YouTube. Are you doing time lapses of you making your work? If you're not, dear God, that would be amazing, because, and I see some pop culture stuff. There's, President Trump, and then there's Star Wars, and there's all kinds of stuff. So I would say in advance of the release of these films, you make an elaborate sculpture, time-lapse yourself doing that, such that when the movie drops, your shit goes pow. Now this can help you in your industry, but to me, this is how you move into mainstream. You grab memes and you make sculptures around those, but you have to actually work on getting them out there. Just making it on a YouTube channel that no one can see, you have to seed it with the news. Make sure you have some friends who have maybe a large social following. I haven't looked at your numbers. I don't know where you're at on that, but I think attaching yourself to cultural memes through your art, expressing to a much larger audience, would be a massive accelerator for your business. I don't actually have any idea about how you make money. Was that part of his question? No? No? Just about how to get exposure. I think that that is huge. What visual media can you participate in? Videos, stills, whatnot, and where can you distribute that such that you can get mainstream pull? I think you should be on TV. I mean, you should have have you tried to get like a, maybe not necessarily Netflix, but the teaching aspect of it? Can you teach people to do this? Can you have a channel that has like a weekly video about how to build this, your stuff? To me, that's a way to be sticky in the, playing the long game, and also the memes are the short sort of skyrockets. So amazing art. I love, I love this show. We're talking about, building startups in Silicon Valley. We're talking about photographers. We're talking about balloon art. It's all creative, and so are you. We're all creative. Thank you for the question. Was it Phileas? Phileas Flash, amazing name. Nice job. This is the face I'm making when I hear your question. It's amazing. All right, second question.
Hey Chase, thanks for everything you're doing. My name is Ricardo.
Ricardo,
and my Instagram handle is a Mexican abroad. My question for you is, when do you know it's time to upgrade your gear? Thanks a lot.
Your gear. She's a photographer. When to upgrade your gear? Ricardo, man. Can we talk for a second? So, your gear, those are tools. In the same way that the person who's working on my house right now, I'm doing a remodel, a house in Seattle, and there's tools all over the place. There's hammers, and I realize the difference between a hammer and a 5D Mark III or whatever is there's a large difference in cost. But the mentality around gear needs to change on the internet. I want to support, because that's a way that photographers and filmmakers, they can touch the industry really quickly, because they can buy the same camera that Chase Jarvis has, or that other fill-in online hero photographer has, and they can get a little bit closer and they can see, wow, this is, and it is better. But it's only better, like the difference between one hammer is slightly better than another if you're a contractor. And I just came from the job site, and there's not a lot of people going like, ooh, do you think I should upgrade my hammer? And that's not to disparage you, because I think it's a real question, but what I want to break through on is that first and foremost, it is not about the gear. It has very, very little to do with the gear. It has almost everything to do with the photographer and the vision behind the work that you can create. Technical proficiency, being great at your craft, is absolutely necessary. And there are some types of, he's a photographer, right? Yeah, there are some types of photography where great gear helps. If you're shooting the X Games for ESPN magazine, you want to have a camera that's 8, 9, 10 frames a second in order to capture the peak action, but it's not required. I had a 2.5 frame per second camera when I started shooting big time sports events like the X Games. And it just requires that you be that much better at your timing. So I wouldn't look at you not having the right gear as some sort of impediment. And that is a narrative that a lot of people use as the excuse not to do shit. Like, oh, I need to save up, so I'm gonna go do some other thing besides photography, like wash cars, wait tables, whatever, which is just a massive distraction. I'm gonna spend 5 months saving enough money to go away go back here and then buy a new camera. That is 6 months that you are delaying the success of your career. If you spent instead all those 6 months trying to figure out how to make a great picture with the tools that you have, you would be a better photographer with lower level technology. It would pull more out of you, and you could make the money by selling pictures that you made as opposed to being distracted with the other thing. I think this is a huge, I just see this in so many industries, we are writing excuses for why we're not doing something. And I understand why. It's safe. It's safe to say that you have to have all these other things. I need to do X, I need to do Y, and that's the distance between me and my goal. I would like to put an end to that. Maybe, I don't think I want to take any more questions about gear on the show. Okay, I will. I probably will. But you get what I'm talking about. Like, this is, I can't underscore it enough. I think it's a very good question. I'm glad you asked it, Ricardo. I don't want you to feel in any way bummed about my answer. Yes, I'm using you as an example, but you're a shining example because so many people have the same challenge, and that's what this show's all about. So, skip the gear. I think you need new gear when you have to have that sort of the next level in order to get, like, this is I know that I want to shoot action sports in a camera that's not 4 frames a second, but then it's 10 would be great. And that's if you're already doing the work. Don't save up all your money and try and get that gear before you even sold a picture. Don't do it. It's a waste of time. And maybe you'll have a different interest when you get to that point anyway. So it's not about the gear, it's about the craft. I hope that answers your question, Ricardo. Thank you guys very much. That's 2 questions now. We're going to call that a show because I'm going a little bit long. I think I've been 11 minutes now. If you want your question answered on this show, and I deeply hope that you do because this is, I'm putting a lot of energy into this. I love the correspondence. Thank you so much for all of the A, inbound questions, B, the love on the internet. Let's keep it coming. Tell your friends about this. If you want your question answered, 802-962-HELP. That's 802-962-4357. Is that right? That's right. It should be down here on the screen. Leave me a message. I listen to all of them. They are amazing. Thanks for being on the show. How long did